medieval visitors to Newcastle often commented about how good its town walls were, and it's said to have the best town walls in England, maybe even Europe. So if you think about that, like Newcastle is named after its castle and famous for its castle, but really in effect, from the 13th century onwards, the whole town in effect became a castle, and it was just incredibly uh, well built walls. So these started getting built in the 13th century, and around about 1260s, I think, that was when the first Murage tax was put on the property owners of the town. So Murage is a tax to build a wall, and that Murage was collected for 100 years. So you can guess that it probably took them 100 years to complete the entire wall. The entire circuit is 2 miles long, and the walls it really are about 25 feet in many parts, at least 20 feet, and about 7 feet thick or 2 meters thick. So it's a huge, immense construction, the town walls. They're an amazing thing. I wish we had more of them left. But if you think about when they were built in the 1260s, like that was a time when Newcastle was really becoming prominent. Newcastle got its charter in the 13th century. Newcastle's, the friaries were beginning to be established here. The town walls were built, and the parish churches were taking the form that we see them in today. So there's not, that's when the bridge was built. The medieval bridge was built to replace the Roman bridge in 1250. So that period of the late 13th century seemed to be an extremely important time for Newcastle. And I think the city walls were defended successfully on at least two occasions against the Scots. It was always against the Scots. There was two periods when we were really under threat from the Scots, and one was the Anglo-Scottish Wars in the 14th century and the late 13th century, and the other time was like during the Civil War. And like I said, the city walls were defended at least twice successfully, but they were also breached once in the siege of 1644, and they were breached at 2 points with artillery and explosives mined against the wall. So I mean that's quite an impressive that's quite an impressive history, and that's where Newcastle's motto comes from: strength through brave defence, or triumph through brave defence.